Tando from Asian Lead for Malta. And of course, Mr. T.M. Lee.
And hopefully to keep you awake for the rest of the session, we'll try to keep this interesting. So I think I have four very interesting gentlemen here, which will take you through basically the blockchain landscapes in different countries. I think that's something that will be interesting to all of you. Now, again, we don't have a lot of time, so let me get started. I think I'll hand over to T.M. Lee, who will talk about CoinGecko.
So hi everyone, I'm TM, co-founder at CoinGecko. We are a cryptocurrency market data provider. So we provide all kinds of data from market data to developer activity, community, and we're one of the largest market data provider globally for people who are interested in the space. So yeah, if you're looking to add like pricing data, anything onto your services or website, check out our widget on API, and happy to share more about the landscape here in Malaysia and throughout.
Okay, next we have Eki.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Hello. How are you guys today? Cool. Full? Everybody had your lunch? Okay, my name is Ike. I am a ICO advisor and also a blockchain advisor and also a cybersecurity consultant. And also, I'm the representative from the European Chamber of Digital Ledger and Technology and Cryptocurrency, Malta. I'm the Asian leader here. And yeah, that's about it for me. So,
Galam.
Hey guys, my name is Garland Wan, and I am a head of global partnership at a blockchain VC/incubator called Iconize. That's ICONIZ. And we are based out of Beijing and in LA, and I'm just leading their expansion into San Francisco. So what we're trying to do is, we're pretty much, one thing you gotta remember, if you remember anything at all, is we're gateway to China. So like a lot of the projects that we touch, we gets a lot of attention from the top tier Chinese capital. So what we're trying to do is, we're trying to bring good projects under our belt so that once they go into the market, they will get that exposure. And we're trying to change, the blockchain ecosystem from this very unsure, like very scammy, ecosystem into something that's got more substance. So by funding good projects and getting them more funding, we're hoping to change that from inside out.
All right, and Felix?
Hi guys, pleasure that you're here. I'm Felix, I'm the co-founder of Futerio. We are based in Bangkok. I just relocated from Berlin to Bangkok. We do corporate blockchain projects, we do a lot of ICOs, and we do OTC trading. I'm also the managing director of a Korean ICO for a payment token called Evans Coin. I hope you're going to hear a lot about that in the upcoming month.
Okay, since you have the mic now, so maybe you want to talk about some of the communities that you've been involved with, both Germany and Thailand.
Yes, happy to do that. So as I said, I just relocated from Berlin, from Germany to Thailand, and it's really mind-blowing what is happening in Thailand. For us, it's really a blue ocean of opportunities, what we see there. I mean, on the one hand, it's a little problematic because the public perception of ICOs especially is, let's say, not the best. People are very skeptical. They see a lot of scam coins in the last months. And on the other hand, there's a huge money coming in from VCs, from incubators, which is very much different from the scene in Germany, I have to say. In Germany, we are in the scene, I'm working in the scene since 2013, and I feel there's so many companies already involved in the market, professionalized there, even they're not legally registered in Germany, but still they have their office there, so there's a big community, and exactly that's the reason why we try to help growing the community in Thailand on a professional level and on the community level as well.
All right. Galam, can you talk about the communities that you are familiar with?
Sure.
Yeah.
So I think since we're in Malaysia, I think we should talk about the Malaysian ecosystem and the landscape here. I think that's the best value we're going to get out of this next 15 minutes. So I travel everywhere in the world. I've been to maybe 20 different cities in the last 4 months, and I've seen ecosystem from Singapore to Japan to China to Korea to US to Canada to everywhere else, right? And I think Malaysia has a really, really big opportunity right now. I was just talking to someone named Shanti, who's a lawyer there, and I think because it's relatively recent and nascent, it's really important to set the right cadence from the beginning, because law or the government is a mechanism where once you start moving, it's very hard to change that momentum, right? So one example that I have is Korea used to be the biggest powerhouse in crypto last year, and because of the different regulation and because people weren't sure what to do, they started banning cryptocurrency. There were rumors that they're going to ban completely. They stopped all the exchanges from taking in people, right? So by doing that, Korea lost this critical time where they could have been a very crypto powerhouse, but instead all these exchanges, top exchanges, went to the below top 15, below top 20, right? So I think it's really important for Malaysia, countries like Malaysia, what it's giving countries like Malaysia, Indonesia, is that blockchain will give them the opportunity to play on a global stage that they weren't able to do before, right? But to do that, you need to make sure that regulatory system is right in place. You know, too much regulation as well as too little regulations is never good. So I think that's really important for Malaysian. Anyone who's a regulator here or has an influence in that space, I think it's really important to remember. And using Korea as a case study, just think about where Malaysia wants to play in the next 5 to 10 years.
Okay, thanks. Okay, I think now we're touching on regulation and this in this space here. Maybe you can explain a bit about what Malta has to offer.
Okay, Malta. Malta is a crypto heaven, that's one. It's we would say that it's a crypto island, because in Malta, it's just like McDonald's, it comes in a set, unless you want a la carte, all right? So you get your fries with your burgers and your drink, everything together. It comes in a package. Any ICOs that wants to go there, we have investors there. That's one. Second, we have our legal team. And transparency, that's another. And then on top of everything else, that Malta has regulated ICO and also blockchain. And there are a lot of, like, for example, Coinbase just went there. And for a company which is that size going there, I bet they have their own reasons. And one thing I would say, like comparing again to Malaysia, is that in Malaysia, one thing I would say, we have a lot of talent. A lot of great mind. But the thing is that, like for example, Malta is doing so good in crypto, their GDP skyrocketed. And here we're talking about digital assets. Your net profits through digital asset, all right? So when a country goes towards the trend of blockchain, I would say that there's no losing. Like in Malaysia, we can't really blame the government because the government reshuffled. We have a new government right now. They have a lot on their hand. They have a lot of cleaning up to do. Because I always practice empathy. They have a lot of cleaning up to do. So we can't just go there and say, hey, we can settle your debts with cryptocurrency, blockchain can abolish bribery. They have more things there to do. So whichever country, whichever nation it could be, you can have the greatest mind, like here in Malaysia. Yesterday when we were having our session, so he was like asking how's the ecosystem here. And I can't say much because government haven't regulated blockchain in Malaysia. Yes, but our national bank, or Bank Negara, we have a watch list. They always come up with watch lists for scammers, fake ICOs and everything. That's updated, that's one thing, that's good. Other than that, I would say that there's one company, Pink EXC. They have their own exchange, they're Malaysian based, their own exchange, and they have their own ATM. So you can just bring your phone, Bitcoin to fiat. And the ATM is limited for few places, there's only a few states. Don't worry, they're not paying me, I'm just talking about their technology, all right? So for the moment,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. TM, maybe you can talk a bit about your experience in the Malaysian ecosystem.
Yeah, so I'm not going to talk a lot about regulation because I'm not really much an expert on that end, but more so for, let's say, entrepreneurs or builders who want to build something in the space. And I think Malaysia has is one of the best places to do so. You got companies like Etherscan and so many other guys who are based here working on stuff that is servicing the crypto economy, right? So my point is that with all the trainings and all the consulting shops that have been set up here in Malaysia, we are actually fueling the technical skills and the skill sets that you need to build stuff. So before even government can come in and regulate stuff, you already have issues where you don't have scalability on the chain. You don't have block explorers that can cover all the chains out there. So there's a lot of lacking in tools to support the network. And I think Malaysia, in the next few years, there will be a lot coming in this end where engineers come in and build stuff that will service stuff in this economy. And that's very crucial for the future of this blockchain infrastructure. Yeah.
Right, thank you. Galam, basically you mentioned about what happened in Korea. So I think that's an example of, I think, a little bit heavy-handedness on the Korean government side. But what else could a government do to actually encourage this ecosystem to grow, rather than kill it?
Right. So I think you mentioned empathy, and I totally agree that Malaysia has it tough for the last 60 years, and they're just getting around to fixing this mess that they created, right? I agree with that. Now, what I don't agree with is I don't think we should, that should be the reason or the excuse for the government to be lazy or not do anything about it, right? I think there's still a way where you can grow this ecosystem. So, for example, I think what Malaysia, in my humble opinion, need to do is find their edge, and whatever that edge is. Vietnam has becoming a powerhouse in blockchain development, right? Everywhere in Southeast Asia, and even from the US, there are a lot of people going to Vietnam for developers and communities there, right? Singapore, for example, they're investing heavily on the academic side. So universities like NUS or SUS, they're popping out all these amazing projects like Zilliqa or Kyber Network, right? So they're also birthing talent into people like David Lee, Loy, all of these guys, right? For China, it's the funds. So you got FBG, you got Fanbushi, you got D11 Capital, D-Fund, like all these capitals, they take power. In Korea, you have Icon or Hashed. So like all of these, different countries have different niche and different characteristics where they kind of grew and nurtured into becoming a global powerhouse. And I think Malaysia's job is to say, what are we good at? Like, what is our niche? What is our unique advantage that we can play in? Because once you have the momentum going forward on those different niches, I think Malaysia definitely has a potential because it is, like blockchain in space as a whole, right now it is geographically very relevant in terms of the country-wise, because all the big events that are happening in Asia, Malaysia are able to become part of. Also, all the events that are happening in Malaysia, they're able to bring the crowd in, because like we're human beings and we are limited by how much we can fly, how the hours that we can spend on the planes and traveling, right? So it is very relevant geographically. But the question is like, what is the Malaysian advantage? What is that, like, is it universities? Is it talent, like Vietnam? Is it projects? Do you guys have money? Is it the capitals, right? What is it? It's the communities. So in terms, like, think about what Malaysia is good at and just start growing that niche so that they can play at a global level, global scale.
Right. Thanks, Galam. Felix, you chose to move from Germany to Thailand. Apart from the community that's growing in Thailand, has the government done anything to actually promote blockchain as a technology?
The government is actually about to change a lot of things. They put out new regulations in the last months, and I have to agree 100% with what you said. I would even add that it's not necessarily an advantage if you're a first mover as a country. Actually, what happens now, we have Korea, we have Gibraltar, we have Malta, we have so many places. So what Malaysia as well as Thailand can do is take the learnings from these developments in the last years. And one of the things I observe, and that's happening in Thailand and in Germany, now they put up the regulation, so the theory is there, this is the one side, but then there comes the practice actually when you really try to apply for a license, and then you will see, oh my God, we are aliens, like we blockchain people are aliens to the government, and the government, I mean, it's the same way around, right? They're aliens to us, and we are aliens to them. So the question is, how can you come together? And that's actually the chance we have to take, and this would be one of my biggest learning, to connect the communities in a very fruitful way and in a way that they can learn from each other. And this has to happen on events like that. This has to happen on meetups. So you have to invite the SEC to your events, and you have to have an open discussion and an open talk with them. So of course they have their regulation, and of course they have to comply with the law, right? But then again, you have to, if you are an ICO company and you want to register for an ICO, you expect an answer from the government or from the regulators. And in Germany, what's happening now, they have the BaFin is called, the SEC in Germany is called the BaFin, and they have so many applications on the table right now, but there are 2 people. So please tell me, how can 2 people handle all these applications? It's impossible. Yeah. So what's happening is they take 8 to 10 months until they approve or disapprove a project. And as we say in the crypto world, 1 week in crypto is 3 years in real life. So we will not be able to wait that long, right? We will move to Malta if it's the case.
Right, yes. Okay, I think we have time for just one more question. I think I'll pose it to all of you. One of the questions that was brought up during lunch today was that some companies in the crypto and blockchain space can't even open a bank account in a lot of countries. Even in Singapore, where we thought they were very business friendly, I think, but companies are finding difficulty opening a bank account. Would any of you like to tackle that? What do you think should be done?
It should be legalized. We need bank accounts, as simple as that. As it is beautiful to earn only in crypto, and honestly, I believe that's what we all want. But at the end of the day, we have to buy our water, we have to pay our electricity bills, and up to that point, we can't do it in Ether or Bitcoin or whatever. So we need a bank account. We need to get the money out. And also, when we collect 20 millions from an awesome ICO, we have to do a proper money management with it, right? We cannot wait if Ether goes up back to 1,200 or down to 50. We never know what's happening. We need a proper funding, money management, and a business model behind it. Yeah.
So I think that question has a lot of elements to it right now. In terms of, we're in a transition phase between going from centralized to decentralized. So essentially, we need to rely on a lot of the centralized network right now. Yeah. Now, in that case, because we're in that transition, we see a lot of changes. I know a lot of crypto firms, a lot of the projects, they pay in crypto right now, right? So you get paid in Ether, you get paid in Bitcoin, right? And there are shops, there are different businesses, there are advisory services that are only taking in crypto. The media companies, the advisories, they're taking crypto right now. So we're slowly building that ecosystem where we don't really need the banking system or the fiat system to do our day-to-day business, right? But it's still not there. Some of the characteristics that we're missing, like you said, Ether just went below, 300, right? So we need a stable coin where people can really trust on, and they can, leverage and be stable with their tokens that they raise, right? So we need usability token. We need things like better ecosystem where better transaction in the real world, where we can do transaction with crypto as easily we can do with Visa or any other MasterCard or any other cards, right? So there are these little missing pieces that's hindering us from using cryptocurrency in the real world. But I think it's coming. We are moving towards that. We are moving towards relying less on the centralized, the gatekeepers of money, and we are moving more into peer-to-peer, where you and I can do transaction without going to a third party, right? So that was a long way around answer of yes, we need it right now in this transition phase. But after this transition phase, I think we'll get to a point where we'll need it less and less and less until it becomes something in the past.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, someone mentioned the term museum bank today at lunch. A bank may end up being a museum piece.
Yeah, totally agree, Galam. And also, during the transition phase, there's a need for bank account, which is why it's very important to have good training and good education for people who work in the industry, bankers, regulators, to understand, not everything is risky. There's low risk, high risk, and it's best to bucket them properly to serve, this growing economy that will be big down the road. Yeah.
Eki, last words from you.
I would say that since it's last words, okay. All right.
22 seconds.
All
left.
right. So, as we all going digital, all right. Main thing, as a cybersecurity consultant, I would say security. Crypto is good. From everything God or man creates, there's pros and there's cons. So when you go digital hacking, like to those that are very active in the crypto world, you should know hacking is quite crazy. Hundreds of millions a year being hacked, not just from exchanges and everything. So if in the future, if there is any crypto company or ICO, I would suggest spend more money, spend more fun, get more skills and expertise. Do it. I mean, like, you have to secure your wallet. All right. So that's my last thing.
All right, we are out of time. So thank you very much to our distinguished panel of speakers. And I think we are finished on time. So thank you very much again.